Saturday cancellation sort of affect the group?
Yeah, I think it kind of is what it is. I think it gave us a couple more training sessions together as a group. We got a day off. I mean, we're in a really busy schedule, which we've talked about. So maybe it's a little opportunity to regroup after a loss in the Open Cup that knocked us out. It's a little bit of a regroup, a little bit of again, ability to come back and train a little bit. We're obviously apart during that international break, and we don't really have training sessions when we come back. So it's an opportunity to get our larger group together on the training field and start to prepare for what's ahead.
But you probably would have wanted to play Saturday just to try to get that loss behind you, further behind you a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But one of the things that we always talk about is you got to deal with whatever comes and deal with it with the right mentality and the mindset, and take the positive out of it. So okay, we didn't get a game to turn ourselves around. We do get some training sessions to work through some details that we need to reconnect ourselves on coming out of the international break.
Thoughts on Minnesota? You guys was it a draw?
Yeah, draw at their place. We gave up a late goal, but they, both teams had a fair amount of chances through the course of the game. Both teams I thought had a fair amount of success going forward, playing forward, and creating opportunities. So there's certainly some things out of the last game that we need to improve upon. So yeah, but again, it's coming back to kind of the image of ourselves and what we want to be good at and being consistent on that side of things. They're a good team. They have guys who are going to threaten the back line, who are going to stretch the game out, which then creates space for Reynoso, who just kind of hovers around between the lines. And he's a fantastic player who obviously has a magic wand for a left foot, but he's just clever about how he positions himself. And they play off of him. But they have guys who run to create space for him. They have guys who run to create opportunities for him. And they set up a few different scenarios that they're looking for throughout the course of the game. But, a lot of it comes down to them as they have individual ability. I just feel like they've had a hard time putting the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. It's not from a lack of chances in the games I've watched. It's just been from a lack of execution in the final action. We need to limit the chances, and we need to make it difficult for them to even get good looks on our goal, because I do see them as a team that can create some stuff. And they're aggressive defensively. Their back line is physically is strong, and they will get tight, and they will make the game difficult, and their midfielders can cover ground, and so it's a challenging opponent for sure.
Where is this group at mentally, you think, going into this game?
Yeah, our group is, we're good. We're just, again, for us, it's a challenge of consistency. It's a challenge of finding that top level every time we step on the field, and recognizing within each game is just a little bit different. And so we, keep coming out. Like I said, it's a mentality to step out and try to take the game as the game comes to us, but also to find our ways to be aggressive, to stretch the field, to be physically present on the competitive side of things on a consistent basis, to do the work and do the running as a group. It's always with our group finding the balance between guys who will stretch the game and go behind, and guys who want the ball at their feet, and making sure we find the balance of all of those things. So, but I think the group's in a good place because they understand the quality and where they can be, but they also understand there needs to be more consistency in terms of our performance every time we step on the field.
Sasha and Douglas, did their timeline improve?
Yeah, Douglas has been in training this week, so he'll be available. Sash has trained. He has a couple limitations. We'll see how he fares as he transitions into tomorrow before we determine whether he'll be available or not on Saturday. But they're definitely right there, and Douglas will be involved for this weekend.
So you think no minute limitation on Douglas, or you probably still want to be a little smart with him?
Yeah, I think it's just match fitness. You can get a lot of training fitness, and you can get a lot of like running and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you gotta get in and compete and cover 120 yards and both sides of the ball and all that kind of stuff. Which is we want to build them in smart and through that process, and not necessarily just throw them out there and say good luck. So it's just getting a little bit of that inside of the intensity of the game, and we'll keep building them into this.
Do you have a timetable for, if the window opens July 7th, do you have a timetable when you get your acquisition in here, which you guys are, your sort of like your plan for?
Yeah, hopefully hopefully it's soon. Our goal is to try to, at the very early stages of the window, is to have somebody in that can help the team, and we're assessing a potential second move along the way and seeing what options might be available. So I would say in the next few weeks, probably.
What would you like to see in those acquisitions, Greg?
Yeah, I think we need as I've said before, I think we need another midfielder. I think we need a little more of a natural defensive midfielder because then that frees up Ryan and Markey to be more of the running, attacking eights, two ways. I think that gives us the opportunity to use playmakers in different parts of the field. We can use them coming off the wits. We can use them as a natural 10. I think it allows us to do more things within our group, and it'll create some balance. Because for me, Ryan and Markey, they do the defensive midfield, but they're not defensive midfielders. And we miss, Markey covers 13K over the course of the game. We could utilize that in the attacking half of the field because he's such a smart runner and he's aware and he's a great balancer and he can get through the lines and he can keep the game fast on the attacking end. So we can use that a little bit higher up the field. And we could use some of Ryan's presence in the box just from a higher midfield position. He can get in as almost like a second forward at times, and he can give us some presence there. So it's not to say that it's those three all the time, but it gives us some variation and different personalities inside of that. So
Mark, he's good to go because he was sick.
Yeah.
Last week. Or?
Mark, he's feeling better. He trained for the majority of this week, and I think we gave him 1 day just to recover. But in general, he's trained this week, and he should be ready to go.
Sorry, you already touched on this. Apparently, I was waiting by the wrong door. But in terms of what you're expecting to see in this the second part of the season and the growth that you've seen from the team, just where are they now, and then mentally after the break as well? What have you seen?
Yeah, again, I think for us the biggest thing is consistency at the higher levels that we found through the course of the season. So, I think we've had matches where we've played really well and we've created chances, we've finished chances, we've dominated some of the better teams in our league, but we've had other games where we've played below our expectation, and I think we need to close that gap. We need to be at the upper end of our performance level on a very consistent basis, which means individuals need to be more consistent. I think inside of games we need to be able to adapt sometimes in games a little bit better. If the opposition comes in and decides to sit really deep, then we need to be able to adapt to that. If they come out and press us, we need to be ready for that. So again, I think us just meeting the challenges of the day on a more consistent basis are important. I want to see our group from a competitive standpoint step on the field ready to impose themselves and on a consistent basis. I think one of the things that we saw again like in LAFC is there was a physical presence in the group. That doesn't mean running around and fouling everybody. It's getting tight to people. It's making it difficult for the opposition. It's that side of things. I think sometimes we love to play so much that we kind of forget to do that. And when we find the right balance in that, that's when I think we find our best level on a consistent basis.
And lastly, at the beginning of the season, you said a point of emphasis was being stronger on defense. So do you feel that the team is stronger there, is still lacking?
Yeah, we're definitely stronger there than we were a year ago. I mean, in terms of chance creation, teams haven't created a ton of chances. The issue that we've run into from time to time is the chance they've created have ended up being counterattack, almost like breakaways, clear looks, things that we've got to protect ourselves better and manage better. But in terms of volume of chances, we're way better than we were last year. In terms of goals against, we're a lot better than we were last year. So that certainly is something that we want to continue to focus on because I think it's important for this group. But we have to do that then again with maximizing our chance creation on the other side and also taking our chances on the other side. So it's finding that balance. But I think we're moving in the right direction as it relates to our intention defensively. And now it's again putting the pieces together on a consistent basis.
Speaking of LAFC, pretty busy window.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
When you see names like that come over, and then you see Toronto with Insigne, what does that mean for the league?
I think it's great for the league. I mean, look, at the end of the day, these are players that have quality, have class, have had and are having careers. So it brings excitement. As a guy who's been around the league since the beginning, there's different clubs around our league, and the Galaxy are one of them, who've kind of set the standard for for moves like that. It was Toronto when we were there with Giovinco and the like, and I think it's great for the league. It doesn't always equate to guaranteed success, but I think it's a great talking point, and you're putting together a group that is in whatever the vision that club has for themselves to try to be successful. And I think every club should be looking at themselves like that. What is it that we need to do to be successful, whether that's to try to win a championship or whether that's try to develop players and sell them or whatever that image is they have for themselves. I think it's fantastic, but it creates dialogue, it creates buzz, it creates more energy in the fan bases. You know, whatever that is always positive for the game.
The Galaxy next with the bus.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Schedule sort of messed up there with the San Jose cancellation. How did that? You think that affect?
I think not quite so much. Obviously, our head was towards obviously San Jose at Stanford, but I think that little cancellation actually helped us a bit for gets guys more time, like Douglas and guys that are just on the cusp of coming back. Gives them a little bit more time to come back and prep with us as a team, and it gives us more time as a team, obviously, to prepare for Minnesota now. I think obviously, as you said before, with the cancellation, we didn't have quite that much time to prepare the team. Obviously, with the 2-week break, a couple of guys were gone for international duty. So yeah, I think it benefited us.
So now it's almost like you get like a regular week to prepare for a game.
Exactly.
You guys haven't had.
Exactly. So I think that's really good. It also helps with our rhythm, as I said before. We get more time on the field, on the practice field, and to get our thoughts and our way we want to play more straightforward.
Is it a little bit of coming off the open loss? You probably would have wanted to play Saturday just to get that behind you a little bit.
Yeah, you could say that for sure. Obviously, Wednesday night was a Tuesday night. Tuesday night was a disappointment. Obviously, I think Saturday could have came and it could have been a good Saturday for us. Obviously, but as I said it before, again, having that time off, giving us more time to get guys back and whatnot is good for us.
Mm-hmm. Rye, I remember the emotions you guys had leaving Minnesota. Just kind of the frustration of the way that one finished with a draw. Do you guys carry any of that over in a match like this, especially with it being your fortress and your home? You want to?
Yeah, we remember the results that we get obviously against any team that we face, obviously, but we don't dwell upon it obviously as well. So just in the back of our minds. But this is an opportunity for us to get back on track with MLS. This is a time of period in the summer where teams start to separate themselves and you start to see who's real contenders and who's not. So I think summer is going to be a tough one, and this is the beginning of it. But we just want to put that open cup loss behind us, and obviously just focus on the league.
Where's this team at mentally?
Mentally, we're recuperating. Obviously, there's emotions obviously that comes with losing a game, losing the Open Cup game. So I think right now we're just processing what we need as a team, what we need to do together to be the best team possible. So I think that's where our mind space is right now. Not to say our heads are lost or anything, but we know that we're in a situation where we're trying to figure ourselves out and figure out what we want to be come, let's say, November when the playoffs begin.
You guys have shown a knack of bouncing back from tough losses. This is another spot here. You look into the guys' eyes in the locker room. You think you guys have it to take this one and then get on a little run here? Yeah.
That was kind of the message after our Open Cup loss. It was kind of humbling, you're not as good of a team as you think you are. So obviously, we look to each other in the locker room, to get us out of that little slump that we had. I think that game was a shell of ourselves. We didn't play too well, we look to each other for our motivation.
I mean, you've been in the league for a while. You know how this season is. I mean, from day one to week 34, things aren't gonna go your way really. But when you need to find that consistent switch though that you guys are going to need.
Yeah, as you said, it's a long season of 1 through 34. Obviously, there's going to be hiccups and whatnot. But as you know, before this league, the team that's more consistent is always on top. You can see teams like Seattle, where they don't start as well because of the Champions League run, but they get going and they get 3-4 wins, and then look at them, they're back in the hunt for playoffs. So I think trying to week by week trying to consistently play well and pick up points whenever you can, whether that's home and away. That obviously helps toward the standing. But as you said, the consistency is one of the most important things, but it's also the hardest thing to get. So especially in a league like this where any team could beat any team. So the consistency has to come throughout training and throughout our games. The relentlessness of how we want to play, how we want to break down oppositions and whatnot and what forth.
Rod, defensively, the results have been there for you guys. You're pretty stout, but what from your perspective needs to happen in continuing to build up the attack and getting those results?
I think obviously our defense has been pretty good. We scored 11 goals in the last 13 games, something like that. We don't less than a goal per game. I think obviously it's not just from the attackers; it's from the whole team. I think we just need to put ourselves in better position and better, let's say, in the final third, better positions to give ourselves the opportunity. I thought the Open Cup game, we didn't really have any clear, other than the Victor chance and the own goal, we didn't have any clear-cut opportunities. I think maybe it could be a lack of creativity, a lack of just understanding. So I don't know. I think obviously we know that we need to score goals, but obviously we need to be competent defensively, because defense in this league is crucial for you to take the next step towards playoff, or even make it past the first round or anything like that.
You guys are leaving yourself with very slim margins. When you can't score, you got to
defend.
Defend in a 1-goal lead.
So exactly. It makes it different. It makes it tough. But I think once we get going, once guys start to get their legs under them, obviously from this 2-week break, because it plays a factor. 2 weeks, not play for 2 weeks. So I was with Canada and I didn't play a game at all, and I came back and I trained and I was dead. So it's 2 weeks. We need to get our legs underneath us. Obviously, now we had it with the Open Cup game and now obviously the missed game. But I thought it was good for us. But just to get our run going. I think when we get our run going, we get goals. Starting to get goals, I think our team will start to thrive for sure.
You feeling good now? You got your legs back?
Yeah, thank God. I got my legs back under me. It's gonna be a good game against Minnesota. Obviously, they're struggling a little bit, but that's dangerous. Those are teams that want to break that little funk that they're in. So they're gonna come with 100% spirit and 100% fight, which Minnesota does all the time, and we just gotta match that.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.